this matter about Pala Farm. There are criminal investigations going on. The Parliament is doing its own processes. The Reserve Bank has done what it wants to do, and I don't know whoever else is doing what. What relevance does that all have to the leadership that will come out of Nasrec at the end of December? Or is it entirely irrelevant? Doesn't matter. The parliamentary panel of 3 tasked with this challenge must advise the National Assembly whether our president has an impeachable case to answer. And as comrades know, they've given up to 30 days to do that, which means 30 days will run out sometime in the month of November. What happens if they say he's got a case to answer? What do we do? Bill? Because the population out there, its own conclusion will be, there's something wrong there. Wrong, maybe wrongly, because indeed somebody is innocent until proven guilty. The fact that a panel like that says that, it does not mean it's correct. But I'm saying you put out a notion like that, coming from this team of senior lawyers, all of them are lawyers, and they say, we've looked at what we have, what we can, and it seems to us there's a case to answer. The leadership of the ANC cannot avoid meeting to discuss the question. In the light of that, what do we do? Do we say to the president, he must step aside? Or do we say, no, let it continue through the courts, through the parliamentary process? What's the impact of that on the ANC, in the public mind? I'm saying, comrades, one of the matters that people are saying, perhaps a defining moment, a defining event, is because they are asking this question: what kind of leadership is going to come out of that? And a lot of that leadership that will come out of there are people who have been in the leadership already. So the public has a view about them. It might be mistaken or whatever it might be, but there's a view in the public there. That one is back again. And there was one minister here who, they were organizing some big event for their ministry. And among other things, they needed big marquees. And all of that goes with that. So he talked to some business people, one company, it's a black company, and said, look, we are planning to do this. I'd like to give the contract, the contract to you people to supply the tents and all of that. But let's agree that when you've done that, when I've given you this contract and costed it, and so you can then say to us, I will need so much money, you have to pay me so much. The minister says to them, add 40% to that. And then afterwards we can decide how to share it out between ourselves, yourselves and myself. And he says, and you know, you may be puzzled why I'm doing that. But he said, because, you know, as a minister, your life is very uncertain. Because you never know when you are going to be reshuffled. So your stay as a minister is, so while you are there, make as much as you can. That's why I'm making this proposal. I know the story, comrades, because the particular company, after that meeting, they actually came to our foundation to report that. And said, of course, when we said to the minister, give us a time to think. We're not thinking, we're not going to take that thing. I'm sure those people in that company must have told half a dozen other people in the country about that minister, who then pops up as member of your National Executive Committee after December. Those people will say, not that one. Yeah. I'm saying that a lot of these comrades who are going to come back, they've got some track record in the people's minds. Who in the movement is discussing that question? What kind of leadership do we want to emerge out of that conference? People that we can rely on to implement these policies that came out of policy conference. And we ourselves, we know ourselves. So, at what point does anybody in the movement engage these two challenges? What policy outcomes do we want out of NASREC at the end of the year? And what leadership outcomes do we want out of NASREC at the end of the year? So that we begin even to change the public mind about the ANC. They begin to see that the ANC is actually, we know so and so and so and so and the other one. We now notice that they've dropped them. At what point does that get discussed by whom? That's why I'm saying I'm happy to join the SDG. Because SDG must look at those things and see what kind of contribution do we make to address the things that Comrade Billy was talking about. About that Damascus moment. We've got to change direction in many ways. But who is that agent that is going to bring about that change? What do we do?